Hi everybody, I'm Philip Duncan. Thank you for joining us for our weekend weather update and also an outlook for next week. And I've got to say, spring returns. Not that it really went anywhere, but I think you'll agree the weather was kind of summer-like in a number of regions. That changes next week. In fact, it kind of changes now. Here is the animated wind map for Friday. The blue area, that is where all the moisture is coming through. Areas in orange further to the west, that is a drier airflow. So this is where the moisture is about to come on in, and some rainfall totals over the next few days in New Zealand are going to be quite high. However, we go to Australia first. This is Tasmania, and the reason why I wanted to show you a close-up of Tasmania is because of this one little blue area here. Snow. This is the second day in a row. They've got snow on the ranges. The areas in red, those are thunderstorms, and obviously lots of rain in the green there. Southerly winds, and that's for Friday afternoon, and this is into Saturday lunchtime. Still snowing there on the tops of the mountains in Tasmania. So some colder air, that is over on this side. That blue line you see there on the, basically where the low is and to the west of it, that's the colder airflow. So that will come in and brush Southland and Otago and maybe the west coast over Saturday. Many other parts of the country though are still warm and windy, perhaps a slightly different weather setup now with the blustery westerlies coming through, and there's still this patchy rain. Now this is going to hover around the upper North Island over Saturday, and then it will increase a bit into the afternoon. Might even be a few isolated heavier falls. So this is why we're looking at the rainfall totals up until Sunday night. So this is right through the weekend. The areas of concern in the pale blue, which is over here on the west coast, where there could be 150 millimeters of rain. But the areas in the east with the blue, that's right at the bottom end of the scale, 2 millimeters. So we're only talking about a little bit of rain in here, just a few spits for the dry parts of South Canterbury and right up towards Kaikoura. Same story around Waitarapa, Hawke's Bay, and even up towards Gisborne. But over on the other side, the areas in pink there, you're getting up to around 50, 60 millimeters, potential rain warning criteria for some of the mountains, and a bit of a wet weekend as well for the north there, perhaps around the anywhere between 10 and 30 millimeter range. So there's a fair bit of rain coming through this weekend, but the bulk of it is over on the west coast. So this is how Sunday looks. Once again, the rain's on the west coast. This blue line, that indicates the colder airflow that surges in across Sunday, and it gets much cooler again around the west coast, Southland and Otago on Sunday. Fairly dry in the North Island. It'll be a drier day for places like Northland, Auckland and Bay of Plenty, but there could still be plenty of cloud around and the odd drizzle patch and maybe even some late showers or patchy rain. Then we get to Monday, high pressure returns briefly to the North Island. Things calm down a wee bit there. Still a bit windy, still a bit cooler around Southland and the west coast and maybe some parts of Otago, but generally speaking, it's not too bad. All these westerlies coming through, but you can see something is building out over here. So I just want to give you a couple more days. This is Tuesday next week. Back to typical spring weather with the strong nor'westers, deep low coming through with plenty of rain around it, back into the same areas that have just been hit, well, this weekend. And it'll be warm again back along these eastern areas. But keep that in mind, warm day next Tuesday turns to a much cooler day next Wednesday. That deep low tracks down like this. These are all southerlies, straight off from near Antarctica, straight on up. Now, we're not talking about snow to low levels, but we are certainly saying it will be much cooler next week compared to the week you've just had with all that sun and heat and warmth down and around places like Southland, Otago and Canterbury. This is a real reverse coming in for you around next week. So we'll keep you up to date. That's all for me for now. Have a great weekend.